Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to have the review of the Galaxy S10. Now, I have been an iPhone user and I've really enjoyed using the Galaxy S10. It's been a fantastic experience in my opinion, and Samsung has done a really great job with this device. So we've got a lot to talk about. Let's begin. Now, the Galaxy S10, in just looking at it in terms of build quality and design, it's fantastic. Samsung has really outdone themselves in refining the S10, the S8 and the S9 design. Surprisingly, you do not have stainless steel on this, but you've got aluminum, so it really does help with weight reduction given how large this display is. But in terms of feel in the hand, it's really premium. It looks very smart and stylish. So I would any day pick the design of the Galaxy S10 or any iPhone design as of now. Looking at the display though, it's a beautiful 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display, and I really think Samsung does the best displays within the mobile industry right now. Their displays have always impressed me, and the display of the Galaxy S10 is no different. It goes really bright all the way to 1200 nits, and I really love the super vibrant colors of the displays you get on Samsung devices. They just look so punchy and so vibrant and so bright than any other display on the market. Now again, this is going to come down to personal preference, but if you're someone who loves vibrant punchy displays, you can get it on the S10. But if you're someone who loves slightly toned down, true to life colors, that would be on the iPhone. I wouldn't say that the iPhone's displays are bad or anything, but it's just that I prefer displays on Samsung devices. Now, other than that, I did not have any complaints with the display. That punch hole up there has really not caused me any kind of concern or anything like that, especially while watching videos or movies. It barely interrupts your content. As you can see, it's all the way to the side, and I would pick the punch hole any day over the notch from the iPhone. Other than that, it's a fantastic overall media consumption experience, I would say. Now, looking at the battery, I've got the Exynos version here. I've heard that the battery life is slightly better on the Snapdragon version, but really that hasn't concerned me at all. Battery life on the Galaxy S10 has been brilliant. It can easily get me through the day, at least 1.5 days without a charge at all. And yes, I do use it at the highest resolution at 1440p throughout day, all day. And as you can see, I've got fantastic battery life for a really long time. Now, one feature I really did like is wireless power share. So this is something I do not use every single day, but it's nice to know that it is there. So if you really need to charge up someone's device, you can do that. Here we've got the iPhone 8. So there it is, and she is charging. But just remember that I wouldn't recommend charging another device other than the Galaxy Buds or the Galaxy Watch, just because the charging isn't efficient enough. The device that is being charged charges quite slowly, and the S10's battery really does take a hit and reduces pretty quickly if you're doing wireless charging. However, there is a feature wherein once the S10 touches 30%, wireless power share is automatically disabled. So even if you're charging another person's device, there's no way you're going to run out of juice. So don't have to worry if you are using wireless power share. Another really good feature I loved of the S10 is the in-display fingerprint sensor. Many reviewers have said that it isn't super reliable, it isn't super fast. I get it that it isn't as fast as Touch ID 2nd generation or the optical fingerprint sensor you get with the OnePlus devices or even with Face ID. But in terms of reliability, I would say I could easily give it about a 9 out of 10. It's always worked for me. In some situations, yes, when your fingers are slightly moist or when you do not keep your finger for quite a bit of time, it does not allow you to get in, but most of the time it really works, and I've really not had any issues with that. Now, moving ahead, another really good feature I've loved of the Galaxy S10 and Samsung devices in general is Samsung Pay. Samsung Pay has always saved me pretty much. I've really moved away from using cash and swiping a card, because Samsung Pay works flawlessly at almost all locations you take it to, whereas when you compare it to Google Pay or Apple Pay or any other solution, they barely make it to almost all locations. So Samsung Pay is something which I really enjoy using on the Galaxy S10. It's very easy to set up and works almost everywhere. Now you do not need to buy the Galaxy S10 just to get Samsung Pay. You can get Samsung Pay from, I guess, the S7. You'll have to check that out, but I'm pretty sure you can get it from the S7 all the way up to the latest and greatest Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Now, looking at the software experience coming from iOS, One UI has been different, I would say. But I have to say that Samsung has come quite a good way from their TouchWiz in those good old days. I really like One UI, the way things work out, the way the overall operating system runs. I do feel, yep, the icons are slightly large and a bit cartoonish. I get that, but I don't think I have any issues with that. One thing I have noticed with One UI is the fact that the animations are slightly more different when you compare it to iOS. Now, if you really love those very smooth, silky animations of the iPhone 10, I'm not sure whether you would prefer the Galaxy S10, because animations on the S10, as you can see, aren't as super silky smooth as the ones you get on iOS. So while you're using the S10 and quickly moving within apps or moving out of them, you kind of get the illusion that the device lags or there's a delay or things like that, but it really isn't lagging. It's just that the animations are different when you compare them to iOS, which is slightly more drawn out and smoother. And I would suggest that Samsung would work on their animations, just try to polish them up a little bit, so that it kind of overall increases the experience while using the device. Otherwise, One UI is really nice, and I also really love the features that you are offered by One UI. I don't think iOS would ever offer this. I really have no idea even if Apple has plans to do that or when would they do that. But it's pretty sad to see even iOS 13 not offering anything on iOS, despite the large screens on the XS Max and the upcoming iPhone. That's pretty sad to see. But overall, One UI, I have to say, has been a really good job. The only issue I will have, I'm sure, is with updates. I know Samsung has been the best when it comes to updates, but I don't think that's gonna not make me get the Galaxy S10. Moving ahead, let's talk about the cameras really quick. So the Galaxy S10's got 3 lenses, and out of the 3, the most I really love using is that wide angle lens. It's really been fantastic while taking photos for me. So we've got 12 megapixels at the rear and 10 megapixels at the front. When it comes to photos in good lighting conditions, the S10 really does a good job when it comes to photos. Detail is there and you have good colors and all of that, but it's nowhere near when you compare it to things like the Google Pixel or the Smart HDR on the 10, 10s, on the 10s and the 10R. So I wouldn't say it is the best camera or anything like that, but given what it is, it's a really decent camera, and it does a really good job in my frank opinion. And as I said, that wide angle lens really helps in increasing the overall usability of the camera. As you can see, I've got a picture of Buckingham Palace right here. So this was taken with the regular lens, and this was taken with the wide angle lens. We've got another one right here. This was taken with the regular lens. This was taken with the telephoto lens. This was the regular lens, and this was that wide angle lens. And overall, detail is really good when it comes to photos. However, I will say in terms of low light photography, the S10 isn't going to do so great. I would still prefer Google's Night Sight or Apple's Smart HDR to move ahead with that. As you can see, this was taken in low light. Overall, the picture is really decent, but you lose out on detail, and as you try to zoom in, you will start seeing grainy photos. The same thing applies to videos. Low light videos aren't going to be so great. You will start losing out detail and you will start getting noise in the videos. But other than that, in terms of videos per se, the S10 can record maximum at 4K 60 FPS. And one issue I have noticed while recording at 4K 60 FPS is that OIS really doesn't do a good job while recording at that resolution. So, and a good solution to that is to just downgrade to 4K at 30 FPS and record using the wide angle lens, as you can see right here. So right here, it really doesn't have a lot of issues while you move around. You don't see it stuttering or anything like that. And OIS does a much better job when compared to recording on 4K at 60 FPS. Also, colors are nice and vibrant, and it does a really good job, especially while adjusting for that sunlight during the video. The only issue while recording that wide angle lens is you get a kind of a fisheye effect, as you can see. But if you're able to look past that fisheye effect, the video experience of the Galaxy S10 looks absolutely amazing. I've got another video here, another clip which was recorded at 4K 60 FPS. Here I was not moving around, so the video looks really nice, and as you can see, it does compensate really well when it comes to that sunlight. So if you are shooting video still without moving around, 4K 60 FPS does a good job. But just remember, if you are moving, I would recommend 4K at 30 FPS. If you aren't so concerned or so into recording 4K videos, you can record super steady videos right here. But this, remember, will record only at 1080p and not 4K. And super steady works really well as well. So overall, I would say the camera is a really good experience on the S10, but I would again say that if you're looking for the best, it still is the Google Pixel. If you're looking for the best video experience, again, it will be the iPhone. Now, looking at prices, the Galaxy S10 can be bought brand new again at Samsung right now for about £800 here in the UK. You can also pick them up used for about 400 to 500, again depending upon condition and configuration. I would personally not suggest picking up the S10 brand new from Samsung, because just remember, Android devices do not hold their resale values as well as iPhones do. So even if you are to walk into Samsung and pick up the Galaxy S10 today brand new, you will not be getting your expected resale value once you sell the device within a year or two. So just keep that in mind, and I don't think paying that 800 is going to be worth it. So I would recommend just buying it used for about 400 to 500. You still get all the bells and whistles of the S10 just at a cheaper price, and it's used. Also, again, even if you're buying used, just remember that you will not get the higher resale value when you go to sell it in a few years, but at least you've got a slightly more value from the S10 when you buy it used rather than buying it brand new from Samsung. So that's it, guys. I hope you did like the video. If you did, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.